My screen. So, hello, I'm Julián Otero from Research and Development Department in Mugaritz. I'm here to talk about a little bit of food design. But actually, we don't know much about food design because our knowledge in food design is not theoretical, it's about practical knowledge. So first of all, what is Mugaritz? Because as Mariana said, Mugaritz is a restaurant, but it's beyond that because we open only 6 months, and the rest of the time we have to do several things to try to make Mugaritz happen again year by year. So that thing that happens, we call it creativity. And it's a period that we not only change the food that is going to appear in the next season, we also change this, the dishes, we change the experience at all, we change the way to speak to the guests. So Mugaritz for us is a restaurant, but it's more than that. The first thing that we gave this year and the last year to the people that come to Mugaritz is this card. Esto no es una pipa. It's not a pipe. We try to quote Magritte because the idea of Mugaritz is not only to come here to eating, it's to come to have an experience and to try to think about the food that we are going to give during the meal. So we came to give these cards to the people because we always say this thing: if a sixth flavor exists, is the flavor of the histories, because you can change the perception of the food using not only colors, not only sounds, also you can change the perception of flavor using the literature. This was a dish from 2014 that was a macaron made with blood, pig blood. So it's filled with some foie. What's the point? We made an experiment a few years ago in a meeting called Brainy-Tongue that we gave this macaron to two different groups with different way of explanation. For them, we call it wild melting of autumn. For the other group, we call it dry blood structure with atrophied liver. So that's the truth. It's dry blood structure with atrophied liver. We are not lying. So what's the point, even if the same dish was delivered, that the overall light changed a lot. The sweetness changed a lot, but the saltiness is the same. We discovered with this that it depends the way you telling the people and the way you explain the people the dishes, the experience completely changed. In 2018, we made an experiment during a whole year in the restaurant. We served two different cards: a flying fish or a swimming fish. Without explanation, we made the people choose whatever they want. So if they want to fly or they want to swim, that the experience is going to change, not about the food, but about the perception. So in the flying menu, the flying literature of the dishes, the flying explanation of the way of the front of the house to the guest, we try to be more poetic, we try to be more eloquent, we try to not explain the food, to try to explain the concept with our words. Instead, the swimming fish was the opposite. We try to explain only the food, and the people has to try to figure out what concept is behind. So we discovered with this that the people want always to fly. The 80% of the guests that year take the flying fish because you can see the food in the dish, but you cannot try to understand without the other part. And what's very, very interesting because add more thing to the knowledge of Mugaritz. Another example about this. Well, this is the cars that we made because we understand that if you change and you explain the dishes in different way, you can produce different things. So in COVID times, with the people with the face mask, we think that we have a problem that we need to solve, and we develop these cards to try to explain some of the moments of the experience, but without removing time for the experience, without adding more time. So we do that because the face mask completely erases our faces and nobody can see your emotions. So we try to provide that emotions with these cards.
So Julián, can I ask
Yes.
you? Can I ask you a favor? Now I realize that we see you, but we don't see the sharing screen. Could you please share the screen in another way instead of sharing the presentation, sharing the whole screen? Because I guess that maybe that's.
I'm going to try.
Great.
Let me see.
Super.
Let me see. Okay. Okay. Do you see now?
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second because the YouTube has a little delay. And so as soon as I see it, I will confirm, because I think it's very interesting, the texture and the way that you express things when you talk. Yes, now we can see it. Great,
Yes?
perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. If you want to show the fish is flying that I thought that everyone was looking at. But
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Sinera Peep.
Great.
Macaroon. And this is the flying and swimming fishes. That is okay. This is, well, a very beautiful image that I want to.
Yeah, it is very nice.
But, well, as I explained, these things allow us to make a very powerful knowledge about how changing things change perceptions. So the next thing I'm going to talk is about change format, and it's very important to see it because at the beginning we have a menu. We have a menu with starters, we have a menu with meat, with fishes, and with desserts. A menu separate with some spaces in white. People know that the starters are the ones that are the beginning, then the fishes, then start the meats, like a normal restaurant. But one day we decide to erase the white space. What happened? The people start to select the dishes without knowing it was a starter, it was a meat, or a fish. So start to change the order of the command. So for example, they ask for start a meat, then they ask for the starter, and they ask for the dish. So that gives us an idea to start to change the menus. We start to make the menus without selection, trying to balancing flavors, balancing concepts, but we have always at the end the sweet part. In 2016, we decided to make that part, and the sweet is going to be during the whole menu. And this kind of creative thinking, we understand because we change the format. Its consequence changes a format. But we have a problem. We have more dishes, we have a lot of dishes, and we decide to try to make the menu in time, to make a lot of things to eat in by hand. because if we delete the fork, if we delete the spoon, it's going to be more faster service. And people can stay only the 2 hours that we want to be here. So we start to create the dishes without thinking, or we're trying to thinking how it can be eaten by hand. But of course, we have a new problem. We don't have enough dishes to the whole experience. So we decided to create this kind of tableware. As you see, there are different booths that we put some food in it. But the good part of this, because it's a solution to give 5 dishes at the same moment, is that you can play like a child. Go to a house, take and put in every hall different always the different booths. So we encourage people in the front house also to play and to change all the plates. And in that point, we realize again that we not only eat with our hands, we eat with the whole body. It's not the same to eat a croqueta with the hand that to eat an asparagus that you have to bend your neck. It's not the same to eat something like a pizza that is sticking in your fingers, that a piece of bread. So using this, we change our minds. We change the way we approach to the food. This is a thing that we do this year. We make a mold of faces of our team, the different faces, trying to put the face as a tableware. And we put some herbs and flowers from our garden and from the wild that surround Mugaritz, and the rest with a little bit of kombucha scoby, that is a yeast that grows in fermented tea. And the idea is to kiss the tableware. It's not the same to put these herbs and flowers dressed in a normal bowl, because it's going to be a salad. If you change and you put there, become a kiss. And become a kiss is a very powerful movement, a very powerful image, because we've been 2 years without kissing each other. We've been 2 years without giving a huge to almost anyone. So the idea of giving the people this year a first kiss is the idea of breaking these pandemic times, is the idea of breaking the barrier that stop us to have more contact with the people, and try to give a kiss without giving a kiss. I'm going to give you an image and a video of how we make this dish. For us, I think my time is over because I have the clock here. For us, for ending this, but last but not least, food design is the way to approach, the way to understand how we can say things without saying with our words. For us, food design is the way that allow us to grow as chefs, grow as a restaurant, and to grow as not only a restaurant that made techniques, because food design allow us to have experience, have dishes that are beyond the technique, are beyond gastronomy. And that's a collaboration, that's a synergy that we made with all these food designers. Well, so thank you so much for inviting us, and very happy to be here.
Thank you very much, Julián. Could you please stop sharing so that we can see your face?
Yes.
Great. So, wow, I'm super emoted. You do all these great projects that, you know, you feel like different and emoted, and it's really amazing to see the way you work and how the design is included into all your culinary and all your food projects. So I encourage you and Fork to do projects together and to become partners in some way, because we really love what you do. So thank you very much. A big kiss to all the team, and say hello and thanks to Andoni. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for your presentation. It was amazing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
See you soon. Great. So as you saw before, we had some troubles. We could solve them to have Julián with us, but now we need to have a coffee break and a technical break to try to solve them. And we will be back to you like I hope in 5-10 minutes, we'll be back here. So thank you very much.